Greetings. You're the Black Light. Once again, I hope that you studied those questions. You can make a list of your own. Now, the Caucasian is not going to answer those questions for you. These are questions for you. And you can't believe him anyway. Is he going to be truthful about it or not? So, later on I have some more questions, but on this session, we're going to go over the fact that we got to make you see who you really are. And see, when I do my thing, I relate it to what's happening now. I mean, I go back in the past. I go back in the future. But you say, well, now he messed up. No, I go back in the future because the future and the past are the same. So, what happened yesterday and what's happening now and what will happen in tomorrow, in the future, will normally repeat itself until you change your mind, till you get out that groove. When you get out that groove, then you change the vibrations. You go to a higher frequency. In my next videos, I'm going to show you where Dr. Aleem El-Bey, Born Mastermind Muhammad, Born Mastermind Allah, excuse me, and Sister or Mother Tanetta Muhammad are saying the same thing on the same frequency, but in their own way. And I've been showing you that, but I'm going to try to line it up where you can see for yourself how they're talking the same language. Both of them belong to two or three different organizations, I can say it like that. Born Mastermind Allah belongs to the 5 percenters or the Nation of Gods and Earth. Brother Dr. Aleem El-Bey belongs to the Moors. And Mother Tanetta Muhammad, the wife of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, may the sister rest in peace. Peace and blessings be upon her. Her sons are Ishmael Muhammad and Rasul Muhammad. They working with Minister Farrakhan. And she was a member of Minister Farrakhan's Nation of Islam. It's a shame I have to break it down like that. I'm not saying that Minister Farrakhan ain't never talked good or said nothing good, but he got all of it from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, the message I want to get out there today, though, we're going to get back to them a little later on. the message I want to get out there today is to tell you that we're supposed to be rulers right about now. Yeah. According to the teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger said that the devil's time to rule, referring to the Caucasian, was up in 1914, but due to the 85% deaf, dumb, and blind brothers and sisters, this gave the devil an extension of time to rule. It's because you don't know who you are. And you, like I say, you got a case of Caucasianitis. You're hooked on the Caucasian. And due to poor self-esteem, but the main thing is he didn't teach you who you were for 400 or 500 years. He didn't want you to know. He didn't want your grandparents or your mothers and fathers to ever give you your real culture and your real history. So he made sure that he kept most of us away. Now you know this is the reason for the coming of Master Farad Muhammad. And Master Farad Muhammad, by him being so light-skinned back in those days, black people, even nowadays, don't want to listen to what another brother have to say about the Caucasian. But they would listen to another white man talk about the Caucasian. But the Caucasian, the slave master, found a way to make the people hate Master Farad Muhammad by labeling him a con artist and a criminal. And so he showed a look-alike of this guy that he showed was a con artist and a criminal. He looked similar to Master Farad Muhammad, but you could tell the difference, you know. When you put the pictures side by side, you can see the difference. The hair texture is different. Some features in the face is different. You know, it's just different, you know. But they look alike, you know, in so many ways. Like people used to tell me when I was younger, I looked like Lionel Richie. When you put us side by side, you can see the difference. Then they told me I looked like Morris Day. I mean, it was one, you know, I mean, now, you know, I'm 74 years old. Now I look like who I was supposed to look like, my mother and father, you know. But I might resemble some of these light-skinned brothers out here, you know. So, but Lionel Richie and them younger than me, so they look like me, you know. I think I'm older than Lionel Richie. Yeah, I'm older than him, you know. But anyway, and Dr. Layla passed away. I got to say, I read his books. You know, I gave one of them away to one of the guys that me and him used to play music together. But we supposed to be ruling right about now. Reason why we ain't, because right after the messenger died in 1975, his son, Wharf Dean, betrayed his people, and Minister Farrakhan went along with him. He brought the nation back, but it appears to be just to make some money for himself. I'm hoping that he redeems himself, and that because he the one that called 1 million men together, more than 1 million men, and this kind of scared the devil. But after the 1 million man march, don't nobody know what happened to the money, and him and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, you know, they tripping and carrying on like they're doing today. Because where are they today? These supposed to be our leaders, you know, representing us, and they ain't got nothing. they ain't got no tips for us. They ain't got no uh, shelter for us. They ain't got all that money that run through these organizations, and they can't help the people. They can't even collaborate. They can't even join forces and pool all their resources together like they tell us to do. Pull your resources together. Buy black. You know, they ain't even doing that. And all our black doctors that, you got a lot of black doctors in the Nation of Islam. You got a lot of black doctors in the Moors. You got a lot of black doctors in the NAACP, especially the NAACP, lawyers and judges and everything. And who doing it? Who doing the dictating now? Trump. You know, and he's about to send the National Guard in on certain spots, maybe everywhere. And I'm saying to myself, well, if they ain't got enough masses to go around, do the army got enough uh, masses and respiratory uh, technology for themselves? How do we know that? Do they have the disease? Aren't they afraid that they might, send all the men out and one of them might have the disease and mingling? How they gonna sterilize the spots that they're in? What are you sending them out for? And they say to help to distribute fuel. Why has they got to help to distribute fuel? Don't we have civil servants for that? For especially like when the army when the military used to be the time when the military, when they was at war, they would have civil servants to administer first aid and whatever. See, a lot of things ain't adding up, and y'all ain't ready to rule. Y'all still want to be slaves. That's why I believe I'm still around. So this is Black Light saying, this is mind wars. These are things you got to think about. Black Light out.